Hi, I'm Roger, welcome back. And in today's job for the Mercedes Sprinter conversion, what I'm doing is installing the MaxxAir Fan. Now, this is a fan that goes in the rear of the van to provide ventilation out of the sleeping area, so as to suck out all the warm air. Now, I'll just show you what I've got. Now, I'm not going to start it right away because it's actually raining, which is annoying, but I'll show you the so this is the frame. So I've got to get this frame, that's got to go about here. So that's where that sits. Now, a very good tip that someone told me is that this is the 350 by 350 millimeter MaxxAir Fan frame. The standard one that most people buy is the 400. Now, as you can see here, this fits perfectly between the two ridges of the Sprinter roof, which means when this goes down, if you get that just right, all of the joints here, all of the joints will be going down onto flat. So there's no, so this is literally going to go right there. So there is no bridging, there is no trying to put mastic between these gaps. Every single join is going to be a completely flush join, which is perfect for waterproofing. So I'm just going to mark out this hole, so I'm going to use this as the template. I'm going to put two curved corners here, two curved corners there, drill in the corners, draw a line between the two, jigsaw the hole, clean up the edges, hammer out the bare metal, and then I've got a wooden frame which I'm going to put underneath to take the strain. But for now, I'm just going to wait for the rain to stop. I'm just going to mark that out. Now, whilst MaxxAir fans say you can just screw this fan directly onto the metal of the top of the van, it is highly recommended that you make a wooden frame, which is what I've done here. Now, this ideally needs to be a 2x2 frame. These are the battens that I had from doing the floor. So these are 1 inch. Ideally I need 2 inches. So what I'm going to do is double up on here. So I've got the basic shape, and then I'm going to go another layer and glue this all together. And that frame then sits underneath the fan, and as you screw through the fan into the body of the van, it gives the screws something to bite into and provides a nice solid base for the fan. And also this can be Sikaflexed up to the bottom of the van, and then that provides another waterproof barrier in. So it's highly recommended. You'll see it in a minute. I'm just going to double up on these pieces of wood and then glue it all together. Okay, so I've literally just taken some 25mm battens and joined them round, glued and screwed a frame. And this doesn't have to be too pretty because it's all going to be hidden. And then I'll show you where that goes. This is going to come down from the top. And that. So we're now looking at the van from the underside. This is going to be glued to the underside of the van, and then the insert here will drop down from the top. That will give us a really solid base to go into. And then, as this is 50mm, my insulation is going to come up to this. So the insulation is going to come to here, and then the ceiling will go right over the top. So I'm just going to let that glue set. Just waiting for a break in the sun, and then we're going to go and cut the hole. Okay, so the sun's come out now, so I'm going to have another go. So, like I said, I've got the frame. We just need to position this exactly between the two ribs of the van. So like I said, if you get the 350mm MaxxAir fan, it will sit exactly on that rib and exactly on that rib. It doesn't touch that one, and it also doesn't touch that one. So this sits perfectly. I might shave a millimetre off the side of here just to make sure this fits in perfect, but it's like it was designed to fit in this slot. So this is exactly where this one needs to go. And then I've just marked out the corners here. And then I'm going to drill some pilot holes and draw some lines, and then we're going to cut a hole. Okay, so I've measured it about 6 times. I've got it sat perfectly between that rib. It's sat there, and then I've drawn out on the masking tape. This is where I need to cut. So we're going to do a few holes on the corners, and then once I've got the holes into the corners, I can then take the jigsaw and go all the way along. Okay, so that's the roof of my van. Put that over there. And what I didn't show you before is I've actually taped a plastic bag underneath the van. So that's there, that was to catch all the metal shavings underneath, so I can just go and clear that up now. So what I've done is made the hole exactly the same size as the frame, so I just need to now I'll take the grinder and just take a little edge all around. And if you're going to cut a hole in your van, you have to stick your head out of it. So that's how to cut a hole in the top of a Mercedes Sprinter. I'm now going to fit the MaxxAir fan on. Okay, so I've tidied the hole up, and now this fits perfectly in the hole. So now to the waterproofing. So I'm going to show you what I've got. I'm using W4 mastic sealing strip. So this is the wide, this is 45mm. So that's going to give me a really good big mastic. And then once that's done, I've got some Cycloflex 522, which I'm going to seal around the outside. I'm also going to glue the wood frame up with this as well. So let's clean all this up. Let's get some mastic down. Okay, so what we're just going to do quickly before I seal this up is just treat the edges of this cut metal. This is just hammerite paint, which you can just paint straight onto raw metal. And then once I've treated this edge, I'll let this dry, and then we'll get the mastic and put the fan down. Okay, we're back at the hole, and now I'm using this W4 mastic sealing strip, and this is the wide, so this is 45mm. So what it means is you've got a really good layer. You can always cut it off afterwards, and boy, this stuff's sticky. So once it goes down, it's not coming up. So I've just folded a tiny bit just over the edge here as well. And I'll show you in here, what you need to do is make sure that you don't stick this strip like that onto the plastic of the other one. So peel back that plastic, overlap it slightly, and it's like plasticine, and then just squidge that in a bit, so to make that one piece. So that now is in effect one piece squidged together. Okay, and then up here on the ridge, I'm going to run the mastic up to the sides, so the fan's going to sit right in here, and then there'll be a bead of Sikaflex right on the top. So this is going to be about as good as we can get it. So again, overlapping slightly. Just peel up that. And it is really sticky. I can't even get the plastic off. Okay, so that's squidged into there. Yeah, it's really hard. There it goes. And this stuff is just recommended for all motorhome caravan waterproofing. It is fantastic stuff. I mean, to be honest, you could just use the mastic and you'd have a waterproof seal. The Sikaflex is just another layer. But okay, so that is all the mastic down. Now what I'm going to do is get the frame in the hole. And this is going to be snug now because of the mastic, but I'm going to have to take off the tape in a minute, which I'll do. And then I've got to get the frame underneath brought up, Sikaflexed on, clamped in place to hold it, pilot holes down here, and then we're going to put a few screws in just to get the glue setting. So let's do this. Got everything ready. So let's reveal the mastic. It's the same. They should have made the tape a different colour, because you can't see where you haven't peeled off. Yeah, so there's a piece there that is still backing tape. Okay. And another thing, this job is not to be rushed. You know, this is one of the jobs that you need to take a bit of time on and get it done properly. Okay. That's all that. I'm just going to squidge down the bump there, and there. Okay. So make sure I get this one the right way around. So you need to make sure that the metal clips are on the sides, because that's the way the fan attaches. This is going to go in. Okay. see I've got a really good bead of mastic there, and that is going to fix in brilliant. Okay. Now I'm going to take my frame and give this a really good bead of Sikaflex on here. So this is going to glue it to the body of the van. And then I'm going to run another little bead just down the edges. And this can squidge out. Okay. Now the actual challenge now is getting this through the hole. Yeah, it won't work. So I'm going to have to go inside the van and clamp that up. Leave the clamps there. Back in a minute. Got that now. Right, so I've now got the frame clamped in. This is secured. I can now pilot hole through here just to go through the body of the van. Okay, a little drill malfunction, spare drill. So let's just pop a couple pilot holes in here. Okay, right, and removed a big chunk of mastic there. Okay, so let's start popping in some screws. I'm going to do the alternate ones, so while I'm here, let's just put a little bead of Sikaflex in each hole. You're never going to see it. Okay, that's one. You know, make sure you don't do it too hard because you don't want to bend this plastic either. I've got the clutch set really light on this at the moment, so it's not going to drill too hard. Okay. Okay, so the final piece now is to put it in the hole. So the fan goes in here. Just need to slot it there. Now, a little tip, you need to wind it up a little bit so you can get to the screws. I'm just going to pop downstairs and just open it up a shade. Otherwise, it's very hard to get to the screws. Back in a minute. Okay, so now you can see you can actually get to the screws here. Yeah. Okay, so it's a little bit of a fiddle, but now it's sat in. These screws here need to catch here. Hey. You do need a tiny bit of downward pressure because it's got to sit on a, and this isn't sitting in as good as it should actually. Now I don't know if you can see this, but screwing this in is quite tricky because it needs to go down. There's a rubber seal underneath the fan, and just in there is the tip of the top of the hole. So the screw kind of needs to go just down at an angle just to bite that and get it started. And you can see just pushing it down just a touch is enough to get the screw to catch, and it pulls it down onto the rubber seal. So let's do the other one a minute. This one's a bit trickier because it's down here, and again it's, yeah, you can just see the hole. So when you lift up this, you can hardly see the hole. I think it's by design and not, yeah, so that's just caught again. And then as you screw it, it pulls the fan down onto the rubber. Okay, that's 2 in. Yep. Okay. Yep. So if you didn't push down, you can't get the purchase on the hole, and you can't get the screw started, and you'll be there forever trying to screw this in. Okay, and the final screw. And of course the final one is the hardest. There it is. Because you also can't push down on here, so that's stuck to the top of the van. Okay. Okay, so if you're going to install a MaxxAir fan, please allow many more hours than you would think would take to do it, because it's quite a job. But it's in now, so we can see the fan right up here, and you get this control with the MaxxAir fan. And all you do is turn it on and turn up the fan. Off, on. Okay, so it's not working at the minute in time. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, and there's the fan, so I've got air out. Let's go maximum fan. So that's blowing air out of the van. Good job done. On to the next one. Oh yeah, and don't forget to clean all the metal swarf off the roof of your van. This will rust very quickly, like in a day, and cause major problems to your paintwork. So make sure you give the van roof a good hoover and a good wash. And secondly, don't forget, if you're doing the Mercedes Sprinter, you You get the 350mm MaxxAir fan because it will fit perfectly. You don't have to worry about ridges and mastic. So my name's Roger. I'll see you in the next video. Happy van conversion.